Good afternoon, everyone. Another video update of what I've been doing. Same truck, same trailer, not many changes. Only thing that has changed, as you can see, I've done some more on the shop. Finally got the this wall closed in with the double doors. This back up here a little. As you can see, this is still open, this one little section here, which is going to be a small entry door. I'm going to frame this in and just have a regular door, probably with a window. But this is what I've come up with so far as far as closing this wall in. A couple of hinge doors I made out of 2x4s. Probably going to add, yeah, maybe I'll do a cross brace, as you can see, because there's really nothing supporting the plastic in between. You know, it's not really going anywhere, but it's kind of weak, you know. It's more just to keep the weather out and a little bit of heat in than anything else. But I set up this, you know, just this 2x4 to keep the doors closed, and bent some regular hinges. If I'm worried about this little air gap that's in between here, which I don't think I am, you know, there's small air gaps in some areas throughout the whole thing. If I run a big space heater, I don't think it's going to be a problem where it's going to let that much air in that it's going to cool off that big of a deal. Like I said, the whole idea is if I am working when it's freezing cold down here, I will have a good sized propane heater cranking while I'm working. Put a couple lights on down here. So let's put them all on. There we go. So to give you kind of an idea of what I have for room in here as a shop. It's kind of the area as of now. Do want to add some more lights. Probably add another 3 lights right here, maybe. Very similar to the layout I have here. That way, if I have something backed in and I want to work, you know, from outside when I open these doors, I'm going to go ahead and open these up and show you how I made those. Simple swing doors, like I said, on hinges. I'm still planning to, I wanted to have this whole fascia, I guess we'd call it, open. I didn't want to frame that in and have the door squared off connecting to it, for the simple reason that I did want to have full height. So when I back something in, you know, because this whole thing is kind of low, I want to be able to have full clearance. And if I ended up running a horizontal beam across for the top of these doors to meet up to, I would have limited, you know, probably 10 and 12 inches in the middle there. So I didn't want to do that. So the way I set these up is I just kind of cut the plastic. As you can see, it's a little flimsy right now because I don't have anything to support it on the top yet. Just did this the other day. You can see they kind of cut at an angle. So my plan is to just kind of follow the angle with a 2x4 to connect up on the top to attach those 2 top pieces to, you know, on both sides. Just kind of an angle that will follow this here. So that way I can close it up and, you know, 2x4 will go up and fill up that gap, come down here and meet. I just wanted to keep it simple when I built them. You know, I put little brackets for strength. They're actually, surprisingly enough, I mean, they do have some give to them, but because they're so light, they hinge fine. They actually worked out pretty much, I won't say it's better than I thought, but they worked out as good as I hoped. So simple, swing them open. Just get a couple of blocks to hold them open. And, you know, there we go. There's our opening to get into the shop. And I measured it. I've got about 4 or 5 inches on either side at the widest point of this trailer. And as you guys know, a trailer is wider than a truck would be, so I have no problem backing in. You know, I've got probably this much space on either side on the door. So that worked out really good. Pretty happy with that. Let's continue on. I think I'm up to about 1,1400. I got into this whole lean-to shed, garage, whatever we're gonna call it. So it's been watertight so far. We've had quite a few storms, some good wind storms. Everything's staying nice and dry. No issues at all. So pretty much don't regret anything I've done down here. Looking really, really good. Pretty psyched. So that's that. And that's about it, I think. I don't think I have any other updates. I already showed you the remote control I got set up for the dump trailer. So that's been working out really good. No issues there. I just got the small little battery maintainer, solar battery maintainer that stays on there while it sits down here. Be pulling the plow out pretty soon. That's ready to connect up to the GMC. There's a better angle of the shop too. You can kind of see the roof. You can kind of see some of the panels aren't laying perfectly down. I could probably add a few more screws in there. Put a little piece of trim on this corner to make it look a little better. Just going to paint that top 2x6, I believe it was, or a 2x8. Just going to paint that white so it looks a little neater, kind of like I did out here. Like I said, this doesn't need to be super fancy, but I did put this this corner trim piece right there. Make it look a little nicer. But yeah, that's about it. Just been plugging along, doing lawns, another round of fertilizer, doing a little work on the camper. Have an update on that. Shop is getting to be a mess again. Things are kind of piling up here. Like I said, I bought the other solar panel kit that I put on the camper. Chainsaw, all this stuff needs to be gone through. Got a absolute mess on the bench just because I've been so busy just doing stuff. But get this neatened up and get into another project pretty soon. This generator's been working out awesome. I have run the welder and the air compressor, not at the same time obviously, but off of that, no issues. Runs great for I think it was 700 bucks, whatever it is. If you guys are thinking about getting one of these at Harbor Freight, absolutely amazing unit. Couldn't be happier. As you saw before, I had the remote control set up, and we'll fire up. She should put her on start. Boom. Nice and quiet. It's amazing. That's inside the garage. I know on camera, for whatever reason, it sounds louder, but it's so quiet. Even just going on the other side of the building. And now keep in mind, this is just a thin piece of plastic. There's no insulation. Probably can't tell on the camera, but it's basically almost non-existent, the sound. What a nice inverted generator that is. Been very happy. What do I got? 24 hours on it so far. It's actually ready for its third service, I believe it is. I'm gonna go ahead and change the oil in that, and I'll be ready to put the synthetic in at this point. I've only run the traditional oil at this. Did the 8-hour oil change, or I think it was 2-hour oil change, and then a 8-hour oil change, and now at 20 hours is your final break-in oil change. So I'm gonna switch over to the synthetic now at this point. Probably just run the best oil I can get, you know, Mobil 1 or what have you. And from here on in, I'm also gonna make sure that I put Sta-Bil in any of the fuel that I add in it, because who knows, you know, only using it here and there. You know, there might be a couple of months in between that I actually use it as the weather gets colder and work slows down, so I don't want to end up having some gummed up gas in there. But yeah, so that's the update on the shop. Be working on this next. Like I said, do a quick frame in here. Same thing, it'll just be the plastic. I'll just, you know, run a couple of, you know, frame pretty much similar to that, only with, you know, remove this, and then that opening will be the door. I don't know if I'm going to use a real entry door. I think I am. I'm just going to buy a cheap exterior door down at Home Depot. Maybe something with a window, or I might look on Marketplace, see if I can find somebody with a used one. Because it would be nice to have an actual door that seals and closes with the window. And the other cool thing about it is if you're down here in the shop, this angle is kind of the entryway for when people come in down this road. So it's nice to have a window right there just to have a visual if anybody came in. I think I'm also going to add a window here. Just add a little bit of light and to be able to, you know, just kind of see what's going on out here when everything's closed up. So. All right, there's an update video. Next project I get into, I'll get something else going. Everything else is holding up pretty well. Really not much to talk about. All right, have a good one, guys. Thanks. Real quick before I take off, I wanted to kind of show you the space that I have inside here with the trailer inside. Part of my space planning when I built this. You know, this is going to be basically the wall here. So as you can tell, on the left hand side to the edge of the trailer, we've got approximately 1, 2, 3, a good solid 4 feet to the edge of the trailer here in the back. Good amount of space here. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6.5 feet back here. And then over on this side, we got about the same 4 feet. Maybe a little shorter. 1, 2, yeah, I'm about 3 feet over here. So on average, I got about 3.5 feet to the edge of the trailer. I'm just in a little bit crooked here. But good 6.5 feet behind it, and then the tongue is, you know, I'm a couple feet back from the opening here, and this is a 6.5 by 12 foot trailer. So again, the dimensions are 24 feet long by 16 feet wide, which by purpose was just big enough to be able to put this trailer in, have plenty of room to walk around and work around. It's also long enough for, you know, like an extended cab truck to be in here with the hood open, doors closed, and be able to have a couple of feet all the way around to work on it. It's wide enough to be able to open the doors if you want to detail a vehicle or whatever the case may be. So I wouldn't suggest you do anything smaller than this, but this size here, the 16 by 24, I think is a really good starting point. And it also helps that I have this, you know, shop area built off of it to be able to put, you know, workbenches and tools and all the clutter. The idea is to get all of this stuff in there neatly and have a place for it. So this space is all usable just for working, you know, without having to worry about if I'm painting something. I don't want the overspray to get all over my equipment. That way I'll be able to just shut this door and, you know, hose down the ground so there's no dust, and I can actually paint a vehicle in here, no problem. Probably add an exhaust fan or something up here to get the fumes out. Little cross ventilation, but all right, thanks. Some nasty grass there. That's about 3 days ago right there. Look at the steam coming off that. Who hasn't dealt with that first thing in the morning? But yeah, that's what you get with the what is it, load handler. You know, you get a little bit around the edges, not a big deal. Cleans out the majority of it. So you just got to get in and take care of the rest of the stuff that's there. It helps if you got a rake or what have you. Set you up here. Grass is amazing. The day you cut it, it smells sweet as honey. Give it 1 or 2 days, and it smells like sewage. Always stinks when you don't clean this out. You come out the next morning in your driveway, smell up the neighborhood. Little crevices you got to kind of clean out, but that load handler, I've never used the one from Harbor Freight, but I know a lot of people use those too. They're not quite built as well. This one here, as you can see, it's the original. It's the it says right there load handler on it, but this is all metal. This whole bracket's metal. It's got the bearing in here. I don't know if the Harbor Freight one has a bearing or just a plastic housing that the metal rides in, but this thing is pretty heavy and pretty stout. The only thing that ever really wears out is this tarp, and I've already replaced them before. I believe it was $20 or $25 shipped to the house for a new one of these. This is probably my third one since I've had it, but well worth the money. I think it's worth probably spending the extra money and getting the heavier duty, you know, drop the 180 bucks or whatever it is for the really good top quality one if it's something you're going to use a lot. And then you can always just replace the tarps as you need them for 20 bucks. And for grass and, you know, small mulch jobs, even a yard of loam, maybe a ton of stone or whatever, works out fine. No issue at all. You know, a little bit of cleanup here just to neaten up afterwards, but all set. All right, I'm off.